Welcome, everybody. Today we are going to be talking a lesson called First Date at Caffa, Real Romance and Real Coffee in Usaquén, Bogotá. Let's get started. We'll have Yuli, if you could read the short-term learning objectives for us.
Yeah. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to understand a fictional romantic story set at a coffee shop in Bogotá. Compare dating customs in different cultures. Use the past perfect and narrative tenses to tell a story.
Okay, perfect. And then the long-term objectives, Adriana.
Long-term learning objectives, we are working on dating and social vocabulary because these situations are common in real life. We're exploring cultural differences to improve communication in cross-cultural relationships.
Great, thank you. Awesome. So let's jump into the warm-up questions with Isa. Our first warm-up question is going to be the top one, if you want to
Yes,
answer it first.
what makes a good first date?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what would you say, Isa?
Okay, answer. So for me, the first days, the most important is to be comfortable or feel comfortable with the other person. So trying to be in an informal conversation, to trying to know, speak about some topics or typical topics that you don't want to speak. Or so I prefer to in the first day create an environment around to what do you do for a living, some normal question, in order to know, don't invite the space or some confidential information. I don't want to ask to the other person about private information or uncomfortable questions. That is very important in the first date for me. So
Okay.
the other thing for me is very important is what
Mm-hmm.
kind of activity we have to do or we
Mm.
wanna do to try to conciliate with the other person. Do you want coffee or do you want to have a dinner or
Yeah.
do you want to go to the movie? So I don't know.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so just a couple quick corrections here. The most important thing, we need that word there, thing, is to feel comfortable. Um, Instead of the most important is to feel comfortable. The most important thing is to feel comfortable.
Okay.
And then in order to not invite or in order to not, so, oh, whoops, that was bad. So we have, instead of don't, we have not.
Okay.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I didn't write the whole sentence out, but basically, yeah, if we have like infinitive, is what we call it. Like, yeah, then we put not in that space. Okay. And then it's interesting what you say about avoiding certain topics because some people like to talk about controversial things. Other people don't like to talk about controversial things. So
So,
it just depends. Okay. We will go to Adriana with the next warm-up question.
Have you ever had a first date in a coffee shop? No, in my case. For example, if I meet someone, I meet them in the job or place or in a party, but not in a coffee shop.
Right? Yeah. So, okay. So quick note here. We could say no, just like a flat no. It sounds like a little like direct, which in US is, obviously we're more direct. Um, but it might be better to say like, no, I haven't. That's a little softer, a little bit like more of like a complete answer. So no, I haven't. Um, if I meet someone, it would like imply that like maybe it doesn't happen, whereas when implies that like it does happen. So um, probably better to say when to indicate like yes, I do meet people, and when that happens, this is how it goes. And then work versus job. That if we're talking about the place, then we say work. So like if I meet someone at work or at a party. Um, but yeah, no, it's a good answer. Yeah,
Okay.
so meet people at work or at a party, not at a coffee shop. Okay. And then Yuli, if you want to answer the next question.
Hmm. I prefer quiet dates, but I think it could happen in an event like a concert or something like this, or uh, I don't know, soccer game, maybe,
Okay.
because we usually don't know when these kind of things could happen.
Okay. So maybe not a first date at a concert, but you're thinking that maybe going to a concert or a soccer game would be a fun activity for a date.
Yeah, it could be.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. I don't think I've ever been to a soccer game for a date, but yeah, could be entertaining. Um, and then yeah, um, to like set like a contrast, like I prefer, however, also I like your use of the word however to introduce the contrast. So, okay, any questions on this?
No, perfect.
Okay, cool. Let's do Stephanie, if you want to answer the top question.
Hi. Um, have you ever dated someone from another culture? No, I haven't. Um, I haven't had the pleasure of that.
What about someone from like a different part of Colombia who has like a different
Mhm.
regional culture?
I'm from Ecuador.
Oh, sorry, from Ecuador. From
Mhm.
a like different part of Ecuador, who
Mm,
like
well,
someone from like Guayaquil or
probably I dated
Quito.
from someone who raised in Spain, but he
Uh-huh.
is. I dated with someone that he raised in Spain the whole life, but he's an Ecuadorian man.
Okay.
So
Was
if
he culturally
he had
Ecuadorian
to
or did he have like some Spanish culture to him?
more than Spanish culture.
Oh, he
So
was more Ecuadorian. Really? Interesting. Okay. So yeah, so we could say for dated, we don't need the with. We can just say I dated someone. Um, and then yeah, you got this one right, who was raised in Spain for his whole life. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. And we'll do one more warm-up question. Um, what do we want to do? Let's do Isa for the bottom question because you had mentioned that you
Okay.
have opinions on that.
Yeah. What is your favorite thing to drink in a coffee? So
Oh no, the
also,
bottom one. The bottom one.
excuse me. What topics are good for a first day conversation?
Yeah.
So say in the before question, for me is good to speak about typical topics like information in general. So around about to the what are your hobbies or some things about your work or your job or your career or activities for the free time.
Okay.
All this in order to know or to have information about the other person.
What about family? Is family a good topic?
Yes, but no specific things, in general. So
Okay. General information.
yeah,
Cool. So yeah, so we have typical topics, hobbies, which would kind of be the same as activities, and work, which would be, kind of similar to career, and then general information. And
yeah,
maybe add to that like preferences, right?
yes, preference,
Yeah, do you like
preference.
tea? Do you like coffee? Do you like
Yeah.
Chinese food?
Do
Japanese
you like
food?
travel?
Yeah. Okay, cool. Next up, we're going to learn some vocabulary because we have a story that we're going to be reading. So we need to make sure that we understand the words. So I will have Adriana, if you want to read the vocabulary on this slide for us.
Barista, a person who prepares coffee drinks, comfortable, relaxed, and at easy. Impression, the opinion you form quickly about someone. Chemistry, a strong natural connection between people.
Okay. So ease, that might be a new word for us. The ease is like relaxed. So like being relaxed about something. So any other um, words or concepts that you want clarified? Is all of this pretty familiar? Yeah. And let's see, Adriana, in Spanish, is chemistry, is it the same? Like you would say chemistry for like a science class and also between two people?
Yes,
Okay, cool.
but I thought in
And
English was different, other
mm,
word, no
no,
chemistry.
yeah, same. And Yuli, did you have a question?
Yeah, can you repeat the pronunciation of barista?
Oh, barista.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, barista. Yeah, so pretty similar to the Spanish pronunciation. Okay. And then Yuli, I'll have you read the vocabulary on this slide for us.
Um, Laugh, the sound you make when something is funny. Misunderstanding, confusion from not understanding correctly. Connect, to feel a strong personal link with someone. Sick
Oh, sip,
or
sip.
sip, to
Yeah.
drink slowly and gently.
Hmm. Yeah. So laugh, I think most of us have probably heard before. Misunderstanding, that it's kind of a similar concept, just a different way of describing it. And then you could like connect or feel a connection. that you're feeling like a bond with that person, a link to that person. Okay. Any questions on these?
No.
Cool. Okay. So we're going to look at some grammar, past perfect. Okay. So, Stephanie, can you read the instructions at the top for us?
Yeah. Use past perfect to describe an action that happened before another past action.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then let's have Isa, if you want to read the examples for us.
Yeah. Tom had never been to Usaquén before that day. Sarah had already ordered her drink when Tom arrived. They had talked online for a week before meeting in person.
Mhm. Yeah, so we have the past perfect here. We have the past perfect ordered had, and we have the past perfect again. So we're talking about kind of like the sequence or the order of events.
Yeah.
That before that day, he had never been there. When Tom arrived, she had ordered her drink. So that's what we use it for. Let's just look at it really quick. So what is the present perfect? Adriana, can you either give me an example of the present perfect or can you tell me what the present perfect is?
I have lived here all my life.
Perfect. Okay. And then Yuli, an example of past perfect.
I had never lived here. Oh,
Okay. Yeah, I had never lived here. Okay. And then Stephanie, what is the difference between the present perfect and the past perfect?
Um, okay, one already happened, I think. And
Yeah,
then
it's the order in which things happen. So in the case of past perfect, we're describing that um, action X happened before Y. And with this one, we're saying that action X has happened at some point. So if I ask you, Stephanie, have you been to Guayaquil? What would you say?
I've been, oh,
And you would say,
I, I've lived in Guayaquil
okay.
since I was born.
Okay,
Mhm.
That was
perfect.
fun.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so I have lived in Guayaquil. Um, so if we add the since I was born, then we know maybe a little bit more about when it happened. But if we put that in parentheses, I have lived in Guayaquil. Um, so versus if we put like um, maybe like we use Quito as an example. Um, you know, we say like I hadn't been to Quito until I graduated high school, right? So like I hadn't been to Quito until I graduated.
I have no. I have been to Quito. Yeah.
So, and unfortunately, my keyboard is not working, so that's why everything looks terrible. Okay, yeah, there we go. Hadn't been to Quito. So one, we're saying like I have lived in Guayaquil, like it's like open-ended. We don't know maybe when it happened. The other one, I hadn't been to Quito until we're showing like I graduated high school. That we're showing like a contrast between two events. So that's the idea there. Okay, cool. And then any other questions on present perfect versus past perfect? I know it's a huge concept and we're just covering it in a tiny bit of detail, but if there's any specific questions, I can try and answer them. Okay, cool. So we will move on to pronunciation. Okay, pronunciation. We will have Isa read. If you want to read the top, the rising intonation, Isa.
Okay, intonation in questions. Raising intonation for yes, no question. Have you ever been to Caffa? Would you like something sweet?
Yeah, so we have the going kind of up at the end. Have you ever been to Caffa? Would you like something sweet? That
Okay.
we don't think about it, but a lot of us, even like language learners, kind of naturally, our voice goes up at the end of a yes, no question. Um, so, and then we'll have Adriana, if you want to read the falling intonation.
Following intonation for W question. What do you usually drink? Why did you choose this place?
Mhm. Yeah, so we have the downward fall. What do you usually drink? Why do you choose this place? That kind of two different ways of asking questions, either yes, no, or the WH questions. And the way that we ask it is just a little different. The place where you'll see this, probably the most noteworthy is someone says like, I'm from, like someone will say like, I'm from Chicago. Like their voice goes up at the end. And it's a way of expressing like uncertainty or like you're not confident with yourself. So you say like, I'm from Chicago. Um, and it's obviously, we want to at the end of a sentence that's not a question. We want our voice to go down to indicate confidence. So that's another thing is like um, down sentence, confidence, you know. And that's more true for men than for women, but for both, it's an important thing to be aware of that in business or in social relationships, if you want to sound more confident, then you have a down tone at the end of your sentences, unless it's a question. Questions? Questions?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Do you have
Okay.
a
Question?
do you have a
Okay.
question?
Cool. We have three parts. We have four students. We'll divide this first piece into two. So let's have Yuli, if you want to read the first two lines.
A coffee date in Usaquén. Tom had never been to that part of the city before, but Sarah Sara had chosen the spot, a coffee shop called Caffa.
Perfect. Okay. And then Stephanie, if you want to read the second half.
Me, me right?
Yeah, Yeah, Stephanie. Yeah.
Yeah. He spent too long picking out his shirt and was running late. When he arrived, she was already at the window with a cappuccino and a poetry book.
Okay. Any vocabulary questions on this one?
No,
Picking
it's
out,
okay.
like we choosing.
Picking out? Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Who said Yuli?
Yes.
Yeah. That you said that it was choosing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Choosing is picking out. Um,
Ah,
yeah, to pick out a shirt.
thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, you have a selection and you're like, which one? Cool. And then we have Isa, if you want to read this section, part two.
Okay, a coffee day in Usaquén, part 2 of 3. You found out. You found out. She say, Lauren, I got a little lost. Don't say. They ordered coffee and pastries. She recommend an almohavana. They love it. They share stories of book, places, and dreams.
Okay, so kind of an ideal first date for Isa. They're talking about books and places and nothing controversial.
Not the
Um,
controversial, yeah, and dreams. Well, it's
Dreams, yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
Okay. And then just a few quick notes on pronunciation. La. So said, it looks like said, the way that it's written, but the pronunciation is actually said. So it has like a short, like ed. Like I always write it like how do I write it? Mr. Ed. Mr. Ed said, right? Mr. Ed. And then laugh. Um,
Wow.
laugh is with the GH makes an F sound for no apparent reason.
Okay.
Okay.
She said laughing.
Laughing. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
She
much
said.
better.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. And Isa, what is a almohavana for our non Colombians?
So in Colombia, almohavana is a kind of bread. So it's a special recipe for um, is between sweet and salty.
Okay, sweet and salty and made with cheese, right?
Yes, with cheese.
Yeah, sweet and salty cheesy bread.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, if we wanted a bad description of it. I'm sure there's better ways to describe it, but yeah, sweet and salty cheesy bread.
Yeah. But the way is delicious.
There we go. The delicious that's the missing word. We need to add delicious at the beginning. Delicious.
Delicious.
Yeah. Oh, okay. There we are. Much better. Okay. And Adriana, section 3.
The scent of roasted coffee and soft background music made the moment feel timeless. They walked to Sea Park after 2 hours. The day was sunny. It was just Tom, Sarah, and the promise of something new.
Mhm. Perfect. Um, so they walked to the park. Um, does anyone know what park is near Caffa? Isa?
Tell me.
What park is near Caffa?
Eh, Parque Usaquén.
Yeah, Parque Usaquén. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, there maybe there's other parks, but that's the one that I know. Um,
Uh, but it's not probably in front to Caffa. In the other side is Santa Ana.
Santa Ana. Okay, so maybe they went to Santa Ana.
Yeah.
Um, okay, and then Adriana, what is timeless? What does timeless mean?
I suppose good time or unforgettable time.
So yeah, I mean they definitely had a good time. Um, does anyone know this word, timeless? It wasn't in the vocabulary. So it's like outside of time, like existing in the moment. Yeah, so like if an experience felt timeless, it means that it was such a good experience that you like forgot about time. Um, yeah, so again, that you forget about time. Okay. And Adriana, scent,
Um, is the same as a scene,
the same as scene.
the moment.
No, in this case, it's something to do with the coffee. Let's see. Um, let's see. Stephanie, do you know scent?
Aroma.
Aroma. Yeah. Yeah. So that would be another word that we use for it. So scent, how something smells, the aroma. The aroma. Exactly. Yeah. How something smells that coffee has a very strong smell. Comprehension questions. Yuli, the first comprehension question.
Where did Sarah and Tom met for their date? They meet at Caffa Coffee.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they met at Caffa.
Or
Again.
coffee shop. I don't know.
Caffa. Gotta say it like the American way, right? No. And then meet with a like long E um is present, and met with a short E is past. So yeah, that's one of the confusing ones. Meet versus met. Okay. And then Stephanie, why was Tom late?
Was because was running.
Sorry, one more time.
I'm sure. I'm not sure. I don't remember
Okay, let's go back and
why.
look.
Let's see.
Why was he late?
He was spending too long picking out his shirt
What does that mean to pick out a shirt?
to choose what to put to wear.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So yeah, so he was
Mhm.
was choosing what to
Mhm.
wear. Isa, um, the bottom question.
What was Sarah doing when Tom arrived? Sarah was sitting by the window, drinking a cappuccino and reading a poetry book.
Okay, it's really good recall of detail. Wow. Okay. Yeah, Sarah was sitting by the window, reading a book, and drinking
Cappuccino.
cappuccino. Okay, perfect. Yeah, okay, cool. We have time for a little bit more. So we'll go to Adriana. Top question.
What pastry did Sarah recommend? She recommended an almohavana.
No.
Recommended.
But right. Is that the right spelling? We'll go with it. Almohabana. Okay, and then the middle question to Yuli.
Talk about.
What was something they talked about? They talked about books,
Mm-hmm.
like places and drinks, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, books, places, and dreams. Let's see, where does it say that? Uh, yeah, books, places, and dreams. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Okay, so yeah, so they talked about books, places, and dreams. They did not talk about controversial issues. Um, Controversial issues. Okay. And then we'll have Stephanie with the last comprehension question.
How did the environment at Caffa affect the day? Good, in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
The environment was
Yeah.
good.
Do you remember anything specific about the environment?
Mhm.
If there is music or smells or aromas or
No, exactly. What exactly
no?
word?
Okay. So here we have this is the scene.
That means roasted. Cool.
Roasted, yeah, cooked. Yeah. Yeah, it's a specific type of cooking with fire. Hmm. Yeah, so the environment, they had the smell of coffee, they had music, and so it made everything feel timeless for them, is what it says. Yeah. Okay, cool. So we'll put timeless. Okay, we're gonna do a little activity called a role play. Um, let's see, Isa, if you want to read the instructions for person A.
Okay, person A. You are on a first date at a coffee shop. Ask questions, make comments, and try to get to know the other person.
Okay, and Adriana, can you read person B?
You are also on a first date. Respond naturally, ask follow-up questions, and share stories.
Okay, perfect. I will have Isa, you will be person A. Adriana, you will be person B. And I'll have Isa, because you're person A, you will start. And you can play a character or you can play yourself, whichever you prefer.
Okay. So, hello, Adriana?
Hmm.
Okay. So, hello, Adriana. What about you?
Hello, Isa. Nice to meet you. I am in my free time today, and I am happy to be this date with you. I was working all day and I am a little tired. And for myself, I am married and I have a daughter. What about you?
Oh, excellent. Do you want something for drink? This is an excellent place to take a delicious coffee, or maybe do you want some pastries? Caffa is an special uh, bakery. What do you want?
I would like an infusion
Perfect.
and a cake, probably apple cake.
Oh,
What
perfect.
about you?
Oh, yes, I want a coffee. Let me I pay. Um, I I want to tell you I work in a company, in a marketing agency. I am 50. I have one son. Mm, and I'm very happy to be here.
Okay,
Thank you for
perfect.
coming.
Okay, that's great. I'm not sure why a married person is on a date, but
Yes, it's great. It's great. It's great.
but it's okay. It's okay. Um, I enjoy the enthusiasm. I think it's great. Okay, so free time activities. You can definitely say it that way. People will know what you mean. We can also say hobbies. That's another way to express that same idea. Um, and then I was working all day. That this is really good. That you're using like the what's called the past continuous to say that an action was ongoing throughout the day. So I just think that's a really good use of grammar that, yeah, I was working. Um, okay. Do you want something instead of for drink? We're gonna say Adriana or Isa. Do either of you know what we would say instead of for? What do we say?
Julie?
Oh no, either you or Adriana. Instead of saying for drink, what would we say? Something. How do we
Uh,
change
Uh,
that?
for drink, for drinking?
So we would say to drink.
to drink.
Yeah. You want something to
You
drink.
want drink.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want something to drink?
Yeah, something to drink. Okay.
Okay.
Um, and then this is an excellent place. One of you said, take a coffee. What would we want to say instead of take?
To drink a coffee.
Yeah, to drink, or have. Yeah.
Okay.
Because in Spanish, you can say like tomar, which would be like, I like to take. But in English, like beber, like drink, or have like kind of like disfrutar, like enjoy. Yeah, like to have a coffee is like to enjoy the coffee. Okay. And then this last one, let me I pay. Then instead it's just let me pay. So it's just a little shorter.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
yeah. Uh, and then they could say something like, I'll let you pay. Yeah. Okay, cool. We're gonna do the exercise again. We'll have Yuli and Stephanie. And Yuli, you will be person A, and Stephanie, you will be person B.
Okay. Um, Hi, Stephanie. What a surprise to meet you here in this coffee.
Hi, Yuli. Nice to meet you. It's a pleasure to be with you here. Well, tell me about yourself something.
Um, so I just left the university. Mm, uh, my creativity today is not so helpful.
Mhm.
I just left the university. I'm working. I'm not working my area. Um,
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
The
well,
the things that I like to do in my free time is to read, to go to concerts.
oh,
Uh,
cool. I love reading too. What is your current book?
um, I'm reading a book about environmental issues
Oh, wow.
from my country.
That's great. I'm
Okay,
reading something
cool.
about psychology because I love that. Um,
Okay, gotcha. Cool.
you
Okay. Okay, so yeah, we're a little short on time. But yeah, we start off I mean lot of really good sentences, really good grammar. So yeah, like I want to give you guys like kudos. But a few things to improve upon. One, tell me about yourself is a very like hard question to answer. So if you ever do find yourself like on a date and you ask that question, like it is not easy. Like, let me tell you. Um, Job interview, I have an answer set, but like a date, like my name is Spence. That's all I know. Um, okay. Just left the university. We could just say just graduated. Um, and then hobbies. Yeah, a good list of hobbies, going to concerts, reading. And then I also wanted to say that this was a really good sentence. What's your current book? So yeah, that is a very like native way of expressing that same idea. Okay. Any questions on this activity?
No,
No.
señor.
Or as the man at the security guard in my building says, no mister, no mister.
tell me about yourself if more for an interview.
In a job interview, yeah, like they would ask that question because it's like a standard question.
Okay.
Um, but on a date, like most people don't have a prepared answer for like what they're gonna say. So yeah. I remember I distinctly remember when I first got asked that question, like where I was and what I was doing. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. What do I say? Let's do Isa, any new words that you learned today?
Yes, timeless.
Timeless. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, that's a new word for me.
Okay.
Storytelling.
Storytelling.
Storytelling. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, those are two great words, for sure. And then
Ah,
go ahead.
almohábana. No, 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 no is
Alma
it yet.
Havana. Oh, okay, there we go. We'll add that one to the list.
No, no,
Um,
it's good. It's good.
Alma Havana. You did not know that one before, but now you know it. Okay, and then favorite part of the story, Adriana.
The favorite moment when they have a good time
Okay.
and they forgot the time when they work for 2 hours. They enjoy that moment.
Okay. Yeah, so you can say like they walked for 2 hours because they were having such a good time. Okay. Yuli, any cultural differences that you noticed?
I was thinking about and I didn't notice uh, any difference.
Okay. I would say the Canadian Tom that he was late and the Colombian was very punctual. So
Uh, and one thing that I noticed is the man was late because she was choosing the the clothes and not the woman.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, so and the foreigner uh, was late. The Colombian was on time. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Okay. And we have one last question, which goes to Stephanie. Um, we'll do the top question for Stephanie.
Okay. Do you prefer coffee shops dates or something more adventurous? Wow, that's a good question. Um, if I have to choose, I would say I would choose for first date
I'm sorry, which one?
coffee shop.
They kind of cut out for a
A
second.
coffee shop.
Oh, coffee shop. Okay, I would choose a coffee shop. Okay.
Uh-huh. Yeah, in order to get know better the person,
Mhm.
but I open to more adventurous things too in it.
Yep. Okay.
Get
Awesome.
to know them better.
Yeah, this would be a great way to get to know them better. Um, and if we remember from the last two lessons that we did, this is an example of the conditional,
Mhm.
right?
Second,
The conditional. In this case, it would be, yeah, second conditional. Okay, cool. Great work, everybody. Unfortunately, we have to wrap up, but it was wonderful to have you all in class. I enjoy the creativity with the role play and the willingness to um, yeah, participate, be active, and engaged throughout the class.
Thank you.
Okay. Yep. Have a good night.
thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye bye.